You're watching the PoliticIt Podcast.
Good evening. Welcome to PoliticIt Podcast. I'm Senator John Johnson. We've got Jon Beesley with us, and you're running for county commission.
I am.
Nice to have you. Thanks for coming
me.
in. It's kind of interesting talking to you beforehand. So you were mayor of Plain City for 2 terms.
Yep.
And so that's 8 years, right?
Yeah.
And you've just finished that, right?
Yeah, I just finished up in January. Absolutely enjoyed my time as mayor, working with the people, the residents. That was one of my favorite things, is getting to know people that I didn't know. Plain City's still a small city, 8,700 people, and getting to know them and working with them, whether it was through a neighbor conflict or volunteerism, just anything, just getting to know the people was great.
So during that time in office, of course, several things happened, right? You got your Kent's Market came in, which was a big shot in the arm as far as tax revenue for the city. And then the other thing that occurred was this whole Amazon, making the point of sale being where it was delivered, right?
Yeah, no, that it really was, like you say, a shot of adrenaline in the vein of Plain City. Kent's Market was well timed. It is a phenomenal store. The owners of that place are just amazing to work with. Very generous with the city, and the Amazon sales tax really boosted Plain City's sales tax revenue. It's been great.
Yeah. So what? Tell me how that all worked out.
So Kent's cut the ribbon right after I was elected. I wasn't in office yet, but Mayor Bruce Higley was in office when that was all passed and done and built, and so I received that year's budget. You know, cities go from June to June. Counties go from January to January. So I got to see the funds, the sales tax funds, increase with that opening, and then also with the Amazon point of sale sales tax. We went from somewhere around $300,000 a year up to right around $1 million that second year.
Wow.
And it was well needed. It saved our residents from any tax increases. We never looked at a tax increase, never had to, on their property. And so that little commercial corner there, Kelly's Corner, has been a great addition to Plain City. And you see everybody there. That's one of the best things about it. You go in and you see 20 of your neighbors. It's quite the draw.
Yeah, rather than them coming into...
Yeah.
And there really wasn't a good place for them to come. I mean, of course, North Ogden, of course, like that traffic up there, right? Mm-hmm. But even that was some distance away, really.
Yeah. A cool little story was Kent, his actual first store was in Plain City. It was the Plain City Market. And that's where he cut his teeth on the grocery business, and he expanded from there. So it was great to have Kent's back.
Right. Well, so what happened in the in between there?
Oh, he opened all of his other stores. I don't remember the progression of where and whens, but he started in the grocery business and just expanded and built, I don't know, quite a few stores. And as per date, the Plain City store is their top store.
Oh, it is.
It is.
That's kind of interesting for it to come
full circle.
It's come full circle and come back there.
Yeah.
So you're running for county commission now.
Uh-huh.
So what's that like?
Oh, it's been an adventure. Meeting more politicians like yourself. As a mayor, there's not a whole lot of connection with a lot of outside your district,
Right.
I knew Representative Gwynn, from our district, and worked with him him some on some issues, but outside of that, it was
Yeah, and he's leaving this.
and he's had to step down. But what a great guy!
Right.
What a great job he did for us. And but yeah, so this has been the whole new thing, right? Is meeting a senator and your last guest, meeting him and putting some names to faces and whatnot. So it's been a lot of fun that way.
So what motivated you to run?
Well, 8 years as a mayor, working with the county quite a bit, I just saw a lot of gaps. Gaps in communication with communities, being open. One of the things I did as mayor was I'd jump on the You're from Plain City Facebook page, and I'd answer questions. Well, after about 3 months of doing that, it became kind of the city joke to just tag Mayor Beesley.
Right.
And so I was tagged in almost everyone, whether it was a dog on the loose or whatever it might have been, lost dog, and so. But I'd always leave my phone number at the bottom, especially if it was a city-related issue. And I would say, please feel free to call me. Here's my phone number. I wanted everybody to know that they could call me. If I was busy, certainly I'd call you back. But please call me. Let's have a discussion and let's work towards a solution. And I think there's a big gap there right now at the county level, especially with the leaders of cities.
So where does that come from?
The communication
that gap,
part?
yeah. What do you think's going on there? Because I've heard it from more than just you. Right?
Yeah. Well, I believe there's some competition going on that doesn't necessarily need to be going on, and that's the county going outside of what county responsibilities really are. Development is a big one of those. In development and such, cities were set up to handle that. Counties weren't so much. An example is our youth recreation programs in cities. Plain City still has a phenomenal rec director. She just handles things. Just stay out of her way and let her work, and she does a great job. But we've got 1,000 homes coming in between Plain City and Far West. Those kids are going to have to play recreation ball somewhere. So they'll go to those two cities, and that will add undue pressure, undue strain onto the city's recreation programs, where they don't receive those tax dollars, the property taxes from those homes.
Right.
And so, it's the competition, and that builds a little bit of contention. And so with contention comes less communication. And I think we've seen that happen over the last 5-6 years between the city leaders and the county government.
We're going to take a break.
Okay.
And we'll come right back.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Tired of media bias? Frustrated by political noise? PoliticIt.com cuts through the clutter, giving you real facts, clear analysis, and unbiased insight on the issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay empowered. Whether it's elections, policy changes, or breaking news, we've got you covered. No spin, no agendas, just truth you can trust. Visit PoliticIt.com today, because informed citizens shape the future. PoliticIt.com, where politics meets clarity.
Welcome back to PoliticIt. We've got Jon Beesley with us. So nice to talk with you. We've been talking about several things, what was going on in Plain City, but you wanted to talk about the sheriff's office.
Yeah. For 8 years as mayor, I worked with the sheriff and his lieutenants. Plain City was a contract city, and currently is a contract city. And
so you would contract with the
Yep.
with the Weber County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, so instead of us having our own police department, we'd contract with the sheriff for our coverage. Yeah, and it worked out great. We always had great lieutenants. Lieutenant Horton was my last lieutenant. We had him for, 2, 3, 4 years. Great to work with, and prior to that, just great lieutenants. The sheriff has done an amazing job with his office. I learned the other day, it's not a department. It is an office. It's an elected office, and he fulfills that office. And and runs his sheriff's office, not a department. So, but working with him, I saw the ways that he would try to build morale at his office with his deputies. He does some great things. He does some fun things, but yet there's always business behind it. The amount of training that they do with their deputies to get them to such a high level in personal life and professional. I believe the sheriff is a people builder, not just a boss. One thing the county is continually doing, they oversee the sheriff's budget, and they're always putting their fingers in there. And I think there's a time and a place for that. And I think that's in October, when it's time to reevaluate the budget and to create the new one for the sheriff. As an elected person, I believe he should have his budget, and for him to create that budget. We can unelect him or reelect him based off how we see him spending taxpayer dollars. So I think
And you don't see that happening now?
I don't. No, I see a lot of micromanaging from the county commissioners, and that just kills morale. We're 3 months, 3 months into a new budget cycle, and already they're talking about reallocations or cuts. But no matter what words they use, they all mean less, and that just kills the morale for those men and women that go to work every day and put a badge on for us. I mean, I was going to say their job's not fun, but at times it is. I'm sure they have good times.
Right.
But they're out there protecting us, and their first responsibility is making sure that us and our property are protected, and we have the best doing it.
So how would you handle things differently?
Well, first off, I think we need to sit down with the sheriff and let him design his budget. Letting him execute his budget as we've given it to him for 9 to 10 months prior to, sticking our fingers in there and changing this or reallocating or whatever words they want to use. Just leave it be. Let him go. He is a great people builder. His department, I truly believe they love working for him because of who he is and how he treats them. Yeah, he can be tough. He expects a lot, right? He's always been a person of principle and of self-building. And he translates that down through his deputies. He's put together a phenomenal staff. His lieutenants are second to none. Worked with quite a few of them. His chiefs are great. The whole administration he's put together is phenomenal.
So less micromanagement.
Yeah, much less micromanagement. Let him do his job. He is an elected official. Let him run his office, and he'll be judged for that, right? Either in good or bad when it comes election time.
Right.
Right.
So what other things as a county commissioner would you do?
Well, I think we need to get our spending under control. We've gone to the well and raised property taxes multiple times in the county in the last 6-7 years. I lived this in Plain City. One of my main goals was to prove that governments have enough money, whether it's a local government, a county government, or state or federal. They have enough money. It's about how we spend it. We focus on needs, not wants. If we have enough left over for a want, then we entertain that. But it's not just we have extra money here, let's hurry and spend it here. We need to change the way that the mentality of purchasing, and I think every government can work on this, and we did it in Plain City. We focus on the needs, and if you're my public works director and I give you a $20 million budget, and you come to me the next year with a $2,000 or $2 million that you hadn't spent, you have an excess, right? I shouldn't punish you and next year drop your budget down to 18 million.
Right.
Right? I should say thank you, great job. Here's that same budget. Let's see if we can find some other places to cut a little bit, and you reward those.
Right.
You reward that department. I worked at a plumbing supply house for quite a few years in my 20s, and come May, I would have so many cities come in and just say, write me an invoice. It needs to be for about $25,000. We just got to spend some money by the end of the year so we don't lose our budget next year. And that just really bothered me because it's a mentality.
Right.
It's a spending mentality, right? Don't punish them for not spending their entire budget. Don't cut it for the next year. Let's keep working with that and not sending the parts runner to the parts supply house to just stock up on items we don't need.
Right.
Just to retain our budget for the next year. So fixing that spending mentality is huge. And I don't see that. I know some of the department heads with the county, and I know they're doing a great job already. But it's just fine-tuning some of those things and making sure that they know that we're not going to punish them for doing good things.
Right.
Right?
And it's always a good thing when you spend less than you
Of course.
than you have allocated to
Yeah,
you, right?
of course. Yep. Shows responsibility, right?
Right.
Yep.
Well, and you don't know what caused that, right? What was it that made it so that you were able to save that amount of money, right?
Correct.
And so, yeah, I think that is prudence, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just working with those department heads, having great relationships with them, both professional and personal. I'm a relationship kind of person. It's just fun. I enjoy getting to know people. What makes them tick. As a kid, I would go to my neighbor's house across the street, and he was retired, and I'd be 5, 6, and I even did it in my teens. But he was just one of those guys that you just well respected, and I always considered him a wise man. And he always had 2 lawn chairs on his front lawn. He was always in one, and I'd go sit in the other. And we'd just sit and wave at cars and talk about life. There needs to be so much more of that going on. I learned so much from Harold. And every once in a while, somebody'd stop to come and talk with us. And having those older conversations as a young kid just really made great impressions on me of life and how things work.
So the county commission races. So there's 2 seats up, right? Mm-hmm. And which seat are you running for?
So I'm running for seat B. I've got 2 opponents: Sharon Bolos, the sitting county commissioner, and then a gentleman named Michael Thomas. I've only met him a couple of times. Seems like a good guy. Sounds like we're kind of a lot alike. I think maybe something that would differentiate me and Michael, or I think maybe I've got a little more experience. He is a city councilman up at the Terrace, Washington Terrace, but I think as mayor you get that administrative experience, and I think that goes a long ways. I think I'm a little stronger in, not boneheaded, but because I'm teachable.
Right.
I'm willing to learn, but if I know that I'm doing something right based off my principles, it's very hard to get me to get pushed off of that. And I don't mind having hard conversations. They have to happen. It's how you walk away from those hard conversations that makes the difference. And so having those hard conversations, agreeing to disagree sometimes, it's fine. It's okay. But I think I maybe stand out a little bit in a couple of those areas.
Right. And so you versus Bolos then?
Boy, very open. I'm very, very open. As I stated about the Facebook when I was mayor, always publishing my phone number. I don't have a receptionist, never did. It was always me that picked up or called you back. Being approachable, the micromanaging part with the Sheriff's Department, that comes in. Sharon Bolos is, the Sheriff's Department's under her portfolio right now. And you see that morale just getting dinged every time that something's brought up. And it's not at the right times. It needs to happen once a year, not 2 or 3 times a year.
Right.
So there's a lot of differences. I'm happy to take a pay decrease. I think the county commissioners are way overcompensated. Throw a 20% pay decrease at me on the first agenda, I'll vote for it. As long as we got the 2 votes, it can happen. The Sheriff's Department is growing. The county is growing. The contract cities are growing. And so to make cuts is not the right move right now with the Sheriff's Department. Yes, it's got to be responsible and show those items that they're spending money on. But it's very, very important that we fund the Sheriff's Department as needed.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so it sounds like to me that's where your major difference with Bolos would be. On the
Yeah. I've sat through many quarterly meetings at the Sheriff's Department. As contract cities, we had quarterly meetings, and there was always something getting brought up about changes in the funding, and there's a time and a place for that. So, yeah, and like I said, being available to people. I've got letters from people that worked at the animal shelter the volunteers have left. The volunteers cleaned the kennels, walked the dogs, fed the dogs. I can show you a message on my phone right now where they state that the dogs are getting fed less because funding for food. They're not getting walked. I can't remember the exact hours. I could pull it up and read it in an email saying how many days they know this dog never got outside to go for a walk. Whether that's the director of the department or funding for that, we need to look into that. They've talked about making the Weber Animal Shelter its own district, taxing district. And I think that's a terrible idea. There's money here at the county to fund that, and to make that its own taxable district, I don't see that as a good fit for the animal shelter.
right.
But there's a lot of morale that's got to be built there. We need to get those volunteers back. I can specifically say that one of the former employees sent multiple emails to Commissioner Bolos with no reply. And they were legit concerns, you know. A lot of people look at their pets as family, or any pet as, you know, something that deserves the very best, and they're passionate about what they're into. I'm not saying that every whim needs to be bent to, but they still need to be looked at. They still need to have those discussions on what can we do better and how can we do better with the funding that we have. And there's ways to do that.
So, you know, we're about out of time, but why don't you look at that camera over there and make a pitch to voters. Tell them why they should vote for you.
Well, my name's Jon Beesley, and I'm running for Weber County Commissioner, Seat B. I'm running because I believe there are things that can be changed at the county level to better cities, the Sheriff's Department, and residents across the county. I'll support cities. They need that support. They need to know that the county commissioners have their back. I'll support the other elected officials in the county and make sure that they have all they need to protect our elections, to protect our property, and to protect us as residents. I'm a Plain City resident of 5 generations. I raised my family in Plain City, and I served as their mayor for 8 years. I've learned a lot. That was probably my greatest accomplishment as mayor, was my education. There's not a lot of books to read about being a mayor, and so it's just hard knocks, and I'll take that any day. I appreciate you, Senator, for letting me come on and have the spotlight for a minute. I've never done anything like this. This is all new to me, and so I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to invite me over and have a discussion.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you. Jon Beesley, nice to have you here, and we'll see you guys next week.